Hey everyone, it's Larry at LC Model Shipbuilding, and this episode we're going to be doing the aft superstructure for the back half of the Bismarck, and we're moving right along here on this. So this episode I basically get it put together, get it lit up, all that kind of stuff, yeah, it's coming right along. So let's get started. All right, so we are starting the rear superstructure now. This I already did back when I did the first part with just putting the brass detail on. So I'm going to set that to the side. That's pretty much ready for paint. I'm going to start to go ahead and get this part ready to go. So what I'm going to do is any detail that needs to be gray and painted with it, I'm going to get that put on. So similar to what we've done in the previous videos, we're going to just basically cut out the parts that are being used and get them ready to go. So the good thing is with this, I'll be able to just go ahead and put it on and then paint it as I'm going here. H37, where are you? So once I find it, 31. It's a small little square. Anyway, there it is. Yeah, I'm going to work on getting that ready, and then I will come back after I get the pieces assembled onto this. Now, I'm not going to put any of the guns on, but I will put the crates on because they get painted gray, and I can just do that spraying while we're doing the rest of it here, and that will make life a little bit easier. So yeah, let me go ahead and work on that, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have all my pieces here painted. I'm going to let them dry, hit them with some clear coat, and then I'll assemble these pieces, and I'm going to get the next set of pieces that go on here, which are the boat holders that go over here, and there's some piping and some other pieces. So that's what I'm going to work on next. So I'm going to get them all kind of split off. I'll show you them once I get it ready. Okay, so I got everything painted for the structures. Turned out nice and pretty, so I'm happy with that. And I'm getting ready to put the decks on. And I generally don't really re-show stuff that much from video to video, but pretty much every time I do show deck technique, I get comments that it helps somebody, so I'll just kind of go back through and show it again what I'm doing here. For those of you that have done this or seen this, you know, I apologize, but it, you know, it's helping somebody, so that's what this is all about. So basically I'm using what do you call it, Gorilla wood glue, and I'm just gonna dab some on here. Now you want to keep it fairly thin so that you don't get bubbles and spots that don't stick, but you also want to make sure you're getting your edges pretty good here. So, you know, trying to get into the corners and all that kind of stuff is important. And if you notice, I'm pulling it from the other side here just so I don't end up wasting glue and having too much on one spot. But essentially I just want to keep it thin but enough to adhere, and when we go and crush it down, that will also help to flatten out some of this. Now, the one thing, you have to work a little bit quickly with this, and I'm running a dehumidifier in here, so I can already kind of see it starting to set up. So, you know, moving with some urgency is kind of important for me. And once you kind of set these, you're kind of set. So I haven't had a heck of a lot of success in pulling decking off once I've put it on, so it's kind of one of those one-shot deals. Okay, so we got that there, and I'm going to go ahead and put it down on the back half here, just because the fact that it has set, or it started to set up. Sorry, I have a popsicle stick in my mouth. Now, that's interesting that the decking is cut how it is around those turrets. So I gotta figure out what's going on with that once we get rolling here. And if you get any on the deck, you want to get it off fairly quick. But I am going to do another round of clear over it anyhow, so that will kind of go away. But I find the popsicle stick method to be the best here when it comes to putting this stuff down. And I'm just gonna wipe that off in case it is not going to be covered by decking, which it appears that it's not. So I'm hoping that the KA set addresses this, because I didn't intend on that. I just assumed that it was going to be exact as it usually is. So as soon as I get this stuck down, I'm going to go back through the directions here quick and see what in the world is going on there. So that has me a little bit worried, but I'm sure it'll be okay. So now I'm going to get up here around the turret, and if you can't see, sorry, I'm trying to not fold it too much because I don't want to put a crease in it either, but all I'm doing is spreading glue. And with a dehumidifier, I will tell you this stuff sets up extremely quick. I also like it from a paint standpoint because it basically dries paint. I'd say it cures it in minutes versus, you know, an hour or so. So it definitely helps speed along the process a little bit. So highly recommended. Okay, so I gotta get more popsicle sticks from my pile here. And we're just gonna run it right along here. Drop that one in the glue, of course. Okay, but we're clean. Do. Okay, so I'll have an answer on this part at some point in the video here later as we're moving. Just seems very odd to me. Okay, now right here, it's not wavy, but it bugs me. Just the fact that there's nothing holding that down per se. So I'm gonna put a longer clamp on there just to kind of help support that diagonally. Okay, so let me go ahead and let this set up, and I'll be back here shortly. Well, for you, I'll be back in a couple seconds, but for me, it'll be probably an hour or so. All right. Okay, so I got the next round of parts ready to paint right here. So I'm gonna get these sprayed up, and then when I come back, we will begin to put the first set of parts onto the decking, and then this set of parts basically to round out the video. And I'll probably do the lighting too. There's not a whole lot of lighting that will go on to this back half of the ship, so it shouldn't take too long to do that aspect of it. But yeah, there we go. So I'll be back. Okay, so I'm just moving right along here, and I went ahead and got this page done, so that first section's knocked out. So we're gonna knock out page, or step 48 here, and essentially I'm just gonna kind of set it how it would go. Basically just following the directions at this point. There's not a whole lot of craziness that goes on with this, so it's just basic model building right now. Those boxes don't like to fit exactly sometimes, just an FYI. All right, so we have L18, which is this guy here, and I'm going to turn this so it's facing the same direction. Oh, it was facing the same direction. All right, so that is going to go right there. And the other thing I've found with some of these is the hole has gotten loaded with paint, so I either have to kind of bore out the hole a little bit, or just kind of really push it in. Sorry if my big head was getting in the way there. So the previous video, I think I thought these were like operational parts for the ship. They're actually binoculars, so that's what they are. I just wanted to correct myself as I looked in the book and realized what they were. Okay, let's get this one on, and then we'll go ahead and see what's next here. All right, so those are on. The rafts I did not paint yet because they are more of a yellowish tan type color, so I'll get them sooner than later, likely, but that's okay. As you can see, I kind of have a system here where I'm Xing out stuff as I get it done, and I'm circling it if it still needs to be done. So that's kind of my markings for it. and you can do whatever you want, but that's what has been working for me anyway. Okay, those are the rafts, and those are rafts right there, and those are rafts, so cool. Moving on, so we have H36, which is this guy here. Alright, X that out, and then we have this piece here, which is J25, goes right off the side of the crate there. There we go. And then we have these two pieces here, and they go on this, which is not glued down yet. So might as well get that a while. And we want the circles towards the front. The mounting holes, I mean, whatever you want to call them. But I thought that would fit right in there. That should go down on there better, I do believe, than what it is. So I'm gonna bore out that hole a little bit more. And of course I dripped glue on it, but I will still do a dull coat over it anyway, so we'll be fine. There we go. All right, now these face backward. So these are little cabinets, it looks like. They should go in a little deeper too. I don't like that. I'm going to cut off these legs, or at least part of them. Otherwise it would stick up way too far and look awkward. Okay, so that pretty much gets us through that page. I just want to double check that I don't have anything left to go here. So that's done. Oh, I have these. I need to get those. I gotta figure out what color they are. And I have these, which are the spotlights. Okay, so next up will be this page, but I want to go ahead and wire in my lighting for right here. So I'm going to do that off camera real quick because it's the same that I pretty much showed in the last video, but I'll show it. And then I got to drill out the smaller holes here, which are probably deck lights. So let me pause it and I'll be back. Okay, so I ran a strip light in here, I ran a strip light in here, and then I lit up the hanger over here. So essentially this will all obviously plug together with the other lighting, but that's what it looks like. And then I have my my leftover deck lights that I used on Titanic here, which will refract light from this. So that essentially lights up this piece, and it's ready to go down onto this piece. So essentially it sits just like that, and we go right there. So from here I can go ahead and glue this on. Now, looking at this bottom piece, there is not solid plastic on the deck, that, you know, the main deck. So I'm going to run strip lights along here as well, and that's how we're going to light up this piece. So anyway, I'm not doing that just yet because I don't really need to. That will be closer to when I get ready to put it on. Although I may go ahead and do it, only because the fact that I don't want to risk damaging anything once I start building up and putting the top stuff on here. So yeah, we'll probably do that quick, and it won't take that long, but that's where we're at. So yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. So we're just going to take a piece of strip lighting, measure out how long I need it to be. We're going to go with that length right there. Maybe here. Yeah. I'm going to just make it the full length, that way I don't have to cut an additional piece and solder an additional piece. So we'll do both the same on both sides. I'm almost out of lighting. I'm gonna have to order some for the hull. Alright, so essentially it's gonna be the same process. I gotta strip this off. Cutter. Where'd my cutter go? There it is. Now I could go strip to strip, but I think I'm just going to run its own wire from the feed line, just so I don't run into issues later. So I'm going to make this a secondary line now, right here. And we're going to put 2 wires off of this. Let's see about how long that needs to be. I guess I'll wire it onto this side because that is closer. So it doesn't need to be real long. Yeah, cut that. And then obviously I'll heat shrink all of this and get it together. And we're going to put one more small line off like this to go to the other side. Now, a lot of times with this self-sticking lighting, I would glue this on, but being that it's only one deck and it's such a short piece, even if it falls off, it's still going to light up when I need it to, so I'm not really going to bother doing that whole aspect of it. Okay, so now this one will glue, or not glue, but solder onto one light strip, and the other one will go to the other light strip. So we'll have one here, and we'll have one going over to here. And then we'll have our feed line here, which will go to either a plug or meet up with the other lighting once we get the aft superstructure attached to the main deck. Sorry, I'm probably off camera. So that's all together. I guess I better plug in my soldering iron again. And then we're just gonna strip off a little bit on the end here. Okay. So there we go with that. And then we just need to make this our feed line. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to solder that together quick. Once it gets hot enough. There we go. Come on, there we go. Alright, so now we just need a piece of heat shrink. And one more. Okay, and then finally, we're just going to solder these on. So our positive is the farthest one out, which is there. Okay, and I'll do the last one and then we'll light it up, and I'll go back to doing some quick building, and we'll probably end the video here pretty soon because I'm guessing we're getting up there in our time, but that's okay. That's okay. So the superstructure, the rear superstructure here will probably end up being 2 videos because we still got our boats to put on. Ooh, I burnt myself. That hurt. Okay. And let's just test if it works. And we'll be done. With this section anyway. Come on. It helps if I get it on there right. Yep, there we go. So, we're working. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the pieces on for this, and we have a piece that, okay, this is the one that goes up. So let me move that over here. Let me get some glue out. So this goes onto right there underneath the little portico thing here. There's a spot that goes. So I'm going to dip some glue on our mounting point and put some on this mounting point here. Okay, so we got that on. And then we have the straight piece that comes across, which is here. same thing. I'm just going to get some glue and dip it on the holes that it drops into. And we'll drop it on. And then I need to connect that little pipe there. So a little touch of glue to connect it. And then this one goes up like that. So without seeing ahead in the directions, I'm pretty sure that this attaches to the mast, because I don't think there is any high structure above this. Doesn't want to connect. There we go. Okay, now we're just going to put a spot of glue on the connection point, and the nubby it goes down, and we're going to drop it on. Seems to be just a touch long. Ooh. There we go. Cool. All right. So just following along the directions here, then we have this piece, which goes, where does that thing go? It looks like it goes right against the wall there. There's no actual mount point, but that's okay. So I'm glad I didn't glue the deck down, because this would have been a much harder. It can't be right because it's going to block the light. Oh, it goes sideways. Okay, I understand. Okay. All right. Now we have 3 boat, I don't know if I'd call it a davit or not, but the holders for the boats. Okay, so they kind of angle. So just FYI, they have an odd angle. They're not vertical to the deck, or at least this one is not. Okay, so we got that one. Then we have our next one that goes into the holder basically like that. Oh, I see. Okay. There's a very slight hole there that this has to ride into. Yep, so that sits like that. And then we have our next one, which finishes us out for this side. And this one does a similar thing, but it does not have a nub to fit into, so it's gonna sit right like that. Okay, so now, just because we're on this side, I'm going to go ahead and set up our runners. Okay, so the final step to these boat here brackets or holders, whatever we want to call them, is the little catwalks that go along the sides here, and they're pretty easy. Just gotta put some glue down. These do put them on. Now I am gonna paint the upright lighter gray, and then the rope line along it will be a different color. So, but there's little nubs and holes that fits into. That's it. So there's one that goes there. I'm gonna put my glue, and then one that goes on the on here, the smaller setup here on the top. So get that one on quick. And that goes right there. And that's it. So yeah, I'm gonna paint them. I'll do that off camera, that's fine. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. Next video will be more detailing of the rear superstructure here, and probably the mast, and we got the radar and the observation, what do you call it, the rangefinder thing, just because, and we got some spotlights that go on here, so grip. A lot more to do on this section here, but it's coming along nicely. Oh, and we have the boats too, obviously, but we're moving right along. So thank you very much for tuning in. Please consider giving a like and subscribe. It would be great. And I appreciate everybody that's been watching and enjoying this build. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Fill that in for us, so, or not fill it in, but mask that for us. So I'm not too worried about getting a little bit of shiny on there from the glue. I'd just rather have a good mounting point. Okay. I'll make sure that they're pretty level with each other, which now they are. Good. All right, and finally, these are kind of tedious. Alright, so this side, I'm gonna just put glue on it and try to kind of hope for the best as we put it down on. We'll see how it goes. finger stuck. Oh, come on. It was perfect. Yep, because that's not annoying. All right, needs a little persuasion.